Right, all right. Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, so this is going to be a single storyline. Happy Friday, everybody. Let's go ahead and jump on in and see what have we got for the single story. We got a Three of Pentacles in the reverse. Now, we assume that our character is single. This may or may not be about love and romance. Right now, timing could be playing a role in this particular story. But with the Three of Pentacles in the reverse, we start out with either it's not time for our character to be collaborating with someone. They may be working on something completely solo. Yeah, Six of Swords. Okay, so we're doubling down on the fact that this is very much a singles reading, right? We have a single character that is moving forward. They're moving onward from, I would say, a collaboration. They're leaving that behind. They are letting go of any kind of burden that was associated with it. This could be like a work related situation that was really difficult. Five of Wands, really difficult. I do think that it was difficult also, though, for our character to decide to leave this behind. I think they went round and round and considered it for quite a bit. Seven of Wands sideways. And it kind of became clear that the only way to move forward in life is to move away from something where there's not collaboration or there's not progress or there's no ability to have progress. And even though it was still hard to move on from it, I think our character said, yeah, but that's what my lesson is in this. I have to learn how to stop analyzing and worrying, am I making the right choice to let this go? If something is not collaborating or cooperating with me, then don't I have to let it go? What am I doing hanging on to something or giving my energy if something doesn't seem to be reciprocating? Hi, Andrea. Nice to see you, sweetie. Seven of Pentacles. My impression is that as soon as this character actually moves on from this, I think almost immediately there's like a reward that they receive for it. They immediately, heck, sometimes this is like, you can work so many extra hours in a week and you're running yourself ragged and you're exhausted, and all you're going to do is pay more taxes at the end of the year. And it's like, wait a second. If I don't work 80 plus hours a week anymore, I A, get enough time for like health and wellness, and B, maybe I make less money, but maybe I also don't pay all of that right back into taxes to an extreme amount. There could be an immediate payoff for this character learned how to let go of something that was not actually doing any good for them. We have a lot of pentacles, so I'm thinking it was about the time they were investing. It was about abundance. It was about things that were or were not giving them greater stability in life. We have the Hanged Man in the reverse. Yeah, all of this is about the timing. Our character, even if they hemmed and hawed, like, should I let this go, should I not, the fact that they did, they're going to get a lot of confirmations that they made the right choice. And it first comes in the form of like, maybe they're going to have a really good week. It's like the universe floods all kinds of abundance toward them. It's like, oh my God, I guess I did make the right choice. King of Swords. If this was about like quitting one job, I think they're going to get a much better one too. I think that they're going to end up, it's like, God, should I let go of this? I don't know. And then when they finally make the decision to do it, within a week, they may have a much better boss, a much better job. There's something with better money, better everything. And it's like, oh my God, thank you, universe. It was a really tough choice for me to make, but now it seems so obvious. The thing is, I said this is about timing. I think that characters can't really make a move until they're ready to, but maybe there's like an internal clock that helps a character know when it's time to actually do the thing they've been mulling over. Let me ask, universe, weigh in on that topic. The idea that just because somebody knows that they want to make the move, but they haven't yet, is there a reason for it? Well, hell yeah, there is. King of Coins, Queen of Coins. It's, again, this all looks like it's about abundance, but now we have a power couple. So I'm going to say this. I feel like the universe says when a character is delaying or thinking about letting go of something, it's because they're already starting to manifest what they want next. And they need to be clear on what they want next. Otherwise, they're always going to they're not going to close a door and start a new chapter. Because every time we think about leaving something, we're thinking, well, I don't want to do this anymore for a reason, right? But then we pretty much need to think, well, then what do I want? And so if a character took a certain amount of time where they thought and thought and thought, God, this isn't reciprocating. God, this doesn't feel like it's clicking. It doesn't feel like it's working. What am I going to do? They need to be able to answer that question. What if this doesn't work? What would I want it to be? When they start to think about that and start to really get more clear, the more they get clear on what they wish it was, the more they're clear on what they're dissatisfied with, the more they're sure about why don't I want this and what do I want in its place. That's how they start manifesting it. And I think that they had to be really at peace with this and really sure. This could be one person needing to be totally confident in their yin yang energy. Like, I needed to be a masculine and a feminine energy. I need to be an action taker who's going to go out and go after what I want and not settle for less, because there's no point in making a lateral move if what I don't like I'm already doing. Why quit a job that I don't like to get another job just like it that I also won't like? I'm done with this. I'm finished. I don't want to work in this industry anymore. I want to work in a building where I have a corner office. I get weekends off with my kids and I make enough money with a 401k. I'm not taking less than that. This is where a character had to get to in their mind, and they had to feel it from both sides of their self, their masculine and their feminine. The masculine is the sun, it's the projection. The feminine is the moon, the gravitational pull. I want someone, I'm going to walk in for what I want, and then I want them to want me. I'm going to draw them in with my skill set and what a great worker I am. And I'm also going to I'm going to get what I want out of this. Our character had to get that sure that they were sick of one thing and that they could envision what they wanted the other thing that they're going to go toward to look like. And they had to know it, completely. They had to be certain about this. And bam, they get it. It's the payout. They would not be able to get this unless they were going to be 100% positive what it should look like. If they were wishy-washy about this, it wouldn't have worked, or it won't work. They have to be sure about what they want next. Now, even if they know what they want, they're still life is a crapshoot. We don't know what we're going to get 100%, but having a clear vision of what we want, I think that's what brings our character to this. Something very clear, something very positive. Now, here's the thing. Because we have a matched pair, and I know this is a singles reading, but this could have much to do with somebody who says, you know what I really envision for myself? I don't like the job I'm in. It's not paying me enough. I'm not happy in it. It's really complicated. I don't want to do this anymore. What would be great is to work in that high-rise building, make enough money that I also have a 401k and get weekends off with my kid. And I'd like to fall in love with somebody. I'd like to work with a big enough group of people that maybe I could meet a soulmate there. Okay, this character really went ahead and they went all the way. If you're going to manifest big. Go all the way, Hey, Miss Hermit. Great to see you, Angel. We got the Hanged Man and we got the Two of Cups. We have a character who's but, sure, the love part could come later, but I would like to meet a wonderful partner, somebody I could really jive well with. That's what I'm asking for. Even though the love part could come later. Business first. Yeah, I'm changing jobs, but then I'd like love too. I'd like to meet the love of a lifetime. It's interesting because I feel like our character, they needed a big change in life. They needed to associate themselves with different people. I keep feeling like because of all the money that we've seen on the cards, and even see it here also, business related, we have little stacks of money and handshake deal like business. I'm going to double down on this and say this is definitely a single character who wanted to do kind of a life overhaul, but partially it's because wherever they were at, they weren't able to meet different people. They weren't able to meet the kind of people they wanted to date. And it's how do we really get to know somebody well? Well, working with somebody is a pretty darn good way to do it because we're around each other all the time, every day, good, bad, ugly. When we deal with somebody, we'll have those snits sometimes, and then we got to get through it because we work together the next day. And sometimes you learn wow, I never would have fallen for this person. We could have been on each other's throats, except we met in a professional setting. We went toe to toe more than a few times, and then we learned to respect each other. And it's like, wow, this is an amazing person. And now I've fallen for them because I got to know them really well first. I almost think this character knows that their entire, I'm not going to say that their life's outcome is dependent upon this, right? Because there's so many billions of different lives that we could live, the infinite number of possibilities about how we could meet somebody, how our life could go. But I do think that our character said, where I'm at is stagnant. What I'm doing, I don't like. Who I'm meeting, I don't want to date. The kind of industry maybe I'm putting so many hours of work into, all of it is just keeping me stuck. And I need to make change as a whole. I need to make change so I have a fresh environment of people to talk to. And I think the only way I'm ever going to meet someone is if I make some changes so that I can be, maybe they've been, look at the difference here. This is some dark little room. Maybe this person was working at like as an accountant all by themselves in a basement, poorly lit. And they're like, seriously, everyone that I do barely interact with on my lunch breaks are sourpusses. I don't get along with anybody. Most of the time I don't talk to anybody, period, because I just got my head down. How many years am I going to do this? I want to be in a sunlit, classy building with other like professionals, and I want to meet people, and I want to be where there's like more life. I don't want to hide myself away in a dungeon anymore. This character needed to break away from this. They needed to get out of whatever this environment was. Somebody spent way too much time toiling alone for other people, is what I would say. Somebody's been kind of like, working in the dungeons, doing the drudgery stuff. Even if they like what they do, they don't like the environment that they do it in anymore. They want to be in the high-rise buildings. They want to be where there's sunlight that filters in. They want to be around other professionals. And they know that's a big part of how am I going to meet somebody. Maybe our character doesn't like the bar scene. They don't want to go out and date, and there's a lot of standard ways that people go out and meet. Maybe they don't want to do online dating. They don't want to go to a bar. They don't want to go out on a blind date. They want to meet someone that's really high caliber, somebody that's a professional, but somebody who's also seeking a good life. They want to be more interactive. And where they've been, they're not meeting anybody. Their whole life was too confined. But they know if they make this change, it's going to lead to other things in their life opening up. This is a character they're driving their own future, but it's also because they're listening to their instinct. They know, well, how are you going to meet somebody when you spend, 15 years working in the cellar with no colleagues? And you work 80 hours a week. You're just not going to have a whole lot of time. So anyway, Miss Hermit, thank you. San Juanita, Marabuca, 01 frequency. Really nice to see everybody. Thank you, everyone. We got the High Priestess, or excuse me, High Priest. This is the Hierophant in any other deck. This is card 5. So Taurus energy. This is so much. Okay, so this fits so perfectly because the Hierophant is everything. The Hierophant is structure and authority. It can be, people that are in charge of business, big business. It can be belief systems. It can be institutions, specifically institution of marriage. You notice how they had to cross this bridge, and it's also our connection to our higher self. So we have a character who wisely decided to listen to their higher self. Their higher self said to them, you're not making change if you remain doing exactly what you're doing. How do you do the same thing every day and expect a different outcome? It's not going to happen. You have to make change, and you know it. And you want to make change because you believe you want something more. You deserve something more. You believe you're supposed to be moving up in life, moving more into the sunlight, moving toward better pay, moving toward better romantic partnerships, moving toward more, action. So you know that your romance, your career, all that stuff is up ahead. All you got to do is move toward it, cross the bridge, go for it. And I really think that this character had to get to the point where they believed in themselves, but they really had to see their future. I want great love. I want a great, kind of more exciting career. I want the things that I don't want to settle for this anymore. Our character had to be done settling for this. And remember, this was even in the reverse. So it wasn't even balanced. It's not even like, well, I was working hard, but the pay was pretty good and that's why I worked so much. No, I don't think any of it was equal. I was in the reverse. This is such a strong message of being a little fed up with being stuck on like the bottom rung, when this character has so much skill and they have so much life and they have so much to contribute, and they have I think it's great to work in the bottom rung of anything, like learn everything from the ground up and you'll be so good, you'll be so skilled, also very compassionate and stay really rooted to reality. If you don't have a streamline, born with a silver spoon in your mouth, I think it's really good to have to work at the baseline of almost anything in life, learn it, work in the trenches, and then become more and more proficient and work your way up and then get to those skyscraper high-rise buildings, because you remember and intimately the struggles and what it feels like to work 80 hours a week for almost no pay and in tough conditions, right? It makes you a better person, a more compassionate person to other people. When you're the one at the top of the food chain, you're going to make sure that you make conditions better for the people that are slowly working their way up, also the people that are still down on the lower pay grades and stuff. And I think it's super important. Our character, though, spent way too much time being stuck at the bottom rung, and they just needed to be able to envision themselves jumping forward, and they can, and they will, and they should. They deserve that. Everybody deserves to keep growing and moving upward, but they did have to choose to do it. So it was all up to them. When they're ready for it, this will happen. It's really very powerful. They're going out to some other job interview. I mean, this storyline doesn't say they're going to quit their job first and then be like, oh, shoot, what do I do? No, they'll probably do it in a really wise way. When they get done up here and in here, that's when they'll go ahead and they'll put out a resume someplace else. And then it'll be, oh man, I got to give 2 weeks notice because I start my other job. I go in for training on the weekend in 7 days from now. It's like when a character is ready for a change, that's when they find it, because they're actually actively going out looking for it. And I think that's true with anything. If we're ready for something, we're going to start seeking it. But if we're not really ready for it, we're not paying enough attention. We're not directing our energy toward it. It's not going to stand out to us because we aren't really paying attention yet. But this character is ready. So awesome. It's so powerful for them. I'm so excited for them. All right, you guys, thank you everybody for hanging out with me. It's really nice to see you. Hey, Stephanie. Thank you, sweetie. All right, you guys, I will see you again soon. I'm still going to go ahead and do a Sag video. I did a Virgo video and it got a little bit long, so I don't know if it can come out tonight, but it's a beautiful story. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite Virgo stories. And I'm still going to bounce over and do a video on my other channel, which I'm actually going to go do that right now on Tarot Dog. We got to do a love tarot story over there. So if you want to join me over there, awesome. I'll see you there. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Monarca. Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for watching. All right, you guys, I'll see you on Tarot Dog for a minute. Bye. And we'll be back.